So if I can reach one person and help them, you know, become more positive or have them better their mindset, then I'll be happy.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Miss Mookie. My channel is all about self-growth, helping people to better themselves and self-love. So if this sounds like something you've been trying to embrace or even implement into your life, welcome to my community. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to radiate positivity. I've done a similar video about this, how to radiate femininity. Also, I've done how to radiate femininity and how to step into your happy girl era. These are just some additional tools that I have learned or have picked up that I would like to share with you guys. So if positivity is something that you're trying to work on and just remove negative thoughts and negative thinking out of your mindset, then this video is for you. So if you're watching this video, it's by no accident. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. What is positivity? Positivity is the practice of being or tendency to be positive or optimistic in attitude. So the first thing you're going to want to do is spot your negativity. You want to be able to spot your negativity so you can stop it in your track, and I'll get into that in just a second. But the first step is to recognize when you are being negative, when you are having negative thoughts, negative beliefs, and negative judgments towards someone. Because sometimes when you are having negative thoughts, feelings, or actions, it's hard to stop it. You start spiraling and it just keeps continuing throughout the day. You ever notice how like you are having a rough start to your morning? Say you woke up at the wrong time and then you're like, oh my God, this is just really bad. And then something else negative happens, like you stump your toe on the end of your bed or something, or your pants little thing gets caught on the doorknob. Like something negative keeps happening because we are constantly just spiraling once one negative thing, action, or feeling happens. You get what I'm saying? So it's really hard to stop it, but once you become aware of your negative thoughts, feelings, and actions, it's more easy to take control of them and combat them with something positive. And I will get into how to combat negative thoughts in just a second. I just want to make sure I'm touching on everything that has to do with negativity, because like I said, identifying your or spotting your negativity is the first step. So that's super important, and I am going to just go into it a little bit more. So you have to, once you learn to spot your negativity, you're becoming more aware of your negative thoughts, and then you'll be able to start seeing what's triggering these negative thoughts. And after you start identifying your triggers, you will be able to basically create a mind map. This mind map is going to, help you navigate your mindset and things that trigger certain feelings within you. And then that mind map that you create is actually going to lead you on the path to positivity and positive thinking. So you want to determine what triggers your negative thoughts. Say you don't really do well in social settings. Say you have social anxiety, so you really just don't like going to parties, and but you say you're being forced to go, or your partner or your friend is asking you to be supportive, and you have a lot of negative emotions that's coming up, and you have to figure out what's triggering that. So say your social anxiety or your fear of looking a certain way or being judged from others is triggering those negative emotions. You want to find out what's triggering that so you can combat that. And say if you have the fear of being judged, what I did is I looked at it as me. I had to change my perspective with that, and I had to start looking at it as they're not judging me. Especially, I can't determine what people are thinking, but I can't sit here and assume that people are judging me. What I'm actually doing is judging myself through other people. So I had that, once I determined that it switched my mindset. I stopped thinking about people judging me. I stopped caring about what people thought of me, because 9 times out of 10 they're not really sharing, no strangers sharing their thoughts with you just right off the bat. So I did struggle with social anxiety. Going out more did help me out with that, but I also just learned that I was judging myself through others, and that right there just shifted my mindset. So I was good on that. But that was also a way I did identify one of my triggers and for negativity, and that helped me to combat it with more positive thoughts. So I would have to sit there and be like, oh, they're not judging me, I'm judging myself. They're not even sharing their thoughts with me, so how could I even possibly assume this? And then another way to combat that negative thought, that type of negative thinking, is to ask yourself, who told you that? Who told you that? Why are you assuming that, you know? So like I said, once you start to understand your triggers or identify your triggers, then that can put you on the path for positive change, like I just explained with me judging myself through others. So positivity, it is like a muscle. The more you use it or the more you practice it, it's like going to the gym. The more you work out, the stronger you will get, or whatever goal you're trying to reach when you're at the gym. So the more you exercise or practice using positivity or being positive, the more natural it will be, the more habitual it will become for your mindset. So common negative triggers, this is just to help you get your brain going and thinking about your own triggers, is events. Like I talked about, that was a trigger for my negative thoughts. Social events and gatherings. I felt like people were judging me, looking at me, and just making me feel uncomfortable and self-conscious and lowering my confidence, and it was just the big mess. But I learned that that was a trigger of mine, and so I had to come up with ways to basically combat the negative thoughts with positive ones, so that I could enjoy going out to social events, especially when it involved me being more supportive of my friends and family, to go out to social events with them. Negative self-talk is often a negative trigger. So this can look like, I would do this a lot, and when I was in therapy, I did discuss this with my therapist, and the way I explained it to her, just thinking back, I just literally brushed it off like it was normal. And she was like, well, if you're doing that I told her I was driving and I just called myself stupid because I missed a turn or something like that. And she was like, well, if you're doing that for driving something small, imagine what, the big stuff you're doing it for. And that was just like an eye-opener. I was like, I'm not really nice to myself. Like, that's not okay. And it really just had me thinking, and then I became more aware. She was the one that told me this. You have to become more aware of your thoughts. So once you are becoming more aware of your thoughts, you're going to be more conscious in the thoughts that you let come up in your mind. Because a lot of the time, our spirit is good. It's naturally good. So the negativity is not something, it's not us. The negativity is not us. So we have to, when we find that negative thoughts and things are coming up, we have to combat it. So that involves becoming more aware and being more conscious in what we're thinking about. The weather can also be a negative trigger. Say it's gloomy outside, it's raining, it's making you feel sleepy, it's making you feel lazy, it's not letting you do anything because you're feeling a little bit negative. So that can also be a trigger. Physical pain, I don't know about you guys, but when I have a headache, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just feel bad. Or like, say you injured yourself, or you have a sickness within, say you caught a cold or something else, you have a disease, that can trigger negativity as well. And then time pressure, say you are on a tight deadline, you have to submit an assignment or something for work, and it's just not looking like it's going to get done in the right amount of time. So it's triggering negativity because you are feeling like you don't have enough time. And then also rushing, I've talked about this in my femininity video. Rushing is low vibrational, and for people who are in their feminine energy, we you want to move slower because that can take you out of your femininity and trigger you to go into your masculine energy. But I just think that regardless of the gender or the masculine or feminine energy that you're trying to embrace, it's low vibrational. Rushing is low vibrational because it's giving you the sense that you're running out of time, and time is all we have. So like, just slow down. But time pressure can trigger negativity is what I'm trying to say. And I say all of this not to trigger any negativity in anybody, but to just get your brain flowing to see what your triggers are. So embracing or acknowledging these triggers and the things that cause you to have negative thinking or just negativity, it can be empowering. So that's what I am trying to do here, is get you all to acknowledge what is causing your negativity, what is triggering your negativity. Well, start becoming more aware of you know, your negativity, and then also start combating it as well. Okay, and then these are things that can happen when negativity actually strikes. I'm just gonna go through a list. I have it written down, so just bear with me. So facing challenges is, you can start facing challenges when you are, when negativity strikes. You can start feeling drained. You're low energy. You just don't feel like doing anything. You're feeling joyless. You lack happiness. You are just not feeling up to things. You are just sad, or just anything that is the opposite or not involving happiness or joy. You are actually stuck in a loop. Like, you feel like you're stuck, you're feeling stagnant, like nothing is happening for you. That is a real feeling that can come up when negativity strikes. Self-criticism, that negative self-talk, oh, I'm just not good enough, like whatever you may be thinking, that will come up because you're criticizing yourself. Overthinking past situations, so you're dwelling on the past, you're dwelling on your childhood traumas. This can come up when negativity strikes, and then that can also send you into a really bad spiral, because depression is fear of the past, or just thinking of the past to where it was really bad and you're just dwelling on the traumas. That's where depression or depression symptoms can come up. You are also feeling more hopeless than excited when negativity strikes. Or you're, like I said, when you're doing that self-criticism, not feeling good enough can happen when negativity strikes as well. You are, like I said, you're not feeling up to doing anything, so you have no energy, low energy. You might be feeling overwhelmed. The things that you have on your plate, you just can't tackle because you're just feeling extremely overwhelmed. And then also struggling with your sleeping habits can be a sign of negativity striking. Struggling with sleep. I lost my train of thought. You're lost in social settings. That, like I said with my example, I was feeling lost in social settings for a numerous amount of reasons, but the main thing of it all was feeling judgment, or judging myself through others. Overeating and skipping meals, so your relationship with food can become extremely unhealthy when negativity strikes. Putting off tasks, so you're procrastinating, you're not going to meetings, you're not wanting to do this and that, you're putting things off because you're avoiding, you tend to avoid things when negativity strikes. You're avoiding expressing your feelings, or, you know, confronting a problem, say with a friend or family member. You're just avoiding expressing yourself and expressing your emotions. So that is a sign that negativity has struck. And like I said, I think I put this on here twice. Yeah, putting off tasks, avoiding tasks altogether. Those are signs of negativity, that negativity has struck. And when you do experience any of these signs that I just stated, you want to just take a step back and reflect and see what trigger is happening, what negativity trigger is happening. Okay, so now that I've gone over the negativity triggers, establishing your negative thoughts, where they come from and what happens when they strike, is a crucial step in becoming more positive. Because now that we're aware of the negative habits or the negative thinking that's going on, we can become more conscious with our positive thoughts. So what we're actually doing is creating new neural pathways when we are deciding to combat those negative thoughts. So it's like turning a switch off for the negativity and turning the switch on for positivity. So we are building that muscle, building that neural pathway for positivity to start taking over rather than negativity to start to rule our thoughts. So I just want you to know that if you are struggling with being positive, negativity does not have to ruin your day. I'm going to share some things that have definitely helped me with becoming more positive, and I really hope these help, because being in a negative mindset it doesn't serve anybody. It really is sad, honestly, and I am making this video to help as many people as I can. Even if just one person sees this and it helps them, I will be happy, because I just want to share the knowledge that I have learned throughout my years, and this is just my way of doing it. So if I can reach one person and help them, become more positive, or have them better their mindset, then I'll be happy. So we definitely have tools to help us with positivity, and once we do become more positive or create those positive neural pathways, this will help us boost our mood and reframe from negative thinking to positive thinking. It will increase our feelings of gratitude, which will place us on a higher frequency, and then also it will just make us happier, because when you're in a state of gratitude, you just automatically feel happy because you are more aware of good things that you have in your life that are serving you. Being more positive can also enhance your resilience to setbacks. So say something that you perceive as a setback happens, it's not going to affect you in a negative way, because you're able to look on the positive side. You're able to not allow that negativity to affect you, because your positive switch is on and your positivity is stronger than your negativity. Okay, so one thing that you can do to implement more positivity into your mindset, or create that neural pathway that is just giving you that positive neural pathway that's going to combat that negative thought or negativity, is savor sensation. So what I mean by this is just basically staying present in the moment. You are, how do I say this? You're staying present in the moment. So you are paying attention to your emotions that come up, or the feelings that come up when you are experiencing something positive. So you want to savor it. It's like eating a good piece of cake, and you just want to savor it because it's so good. I want you to do that with positive things. You want to just savor it. Be present in the moment. Just notice how you feel, and just be in this a heightened state of happiness. So just practice savoring happy moments. So that's also good. Also, it's good for when you are having a negative experience. You can think back on something good that has happened to you, so that way you can bring yourself out of that negativity, so that way you don't start to spiral. Another way to enforce positivity into your mindset is connecting with nature, going out on a walk, walking barefoot on the grass. Be careful though, because animals pee on the grass and stuff, and you don't want to get infections in your feet and whatnot. So just be mindful of the area where you are walking barefoot if you choose to do that. But I like to go to my local park. I like to walk on the trail. Hot girl walks are pretty big right now, so go on your hot girl walk and just take in nature and your surroundings. You can also sit up against a tree and just soak in the energy from the tree, because connecting with nature, it's scientifically proven to help us relieve stress. So you're not just holding on to that stress, because stress can do a number of things to our body in negative ways, and so negativity and stress basically go hand in hand. And so when you're out connecting with nature, you can relieve some of that stress. Connecting with nature is also scientifically proven to lower your cortisol levels and raise your melatonin, so that way you can get a good night's sleep, and you're not struggling with with your sleep schedule, like I stated a few minutes ago about things that happen when negativity strikes. Really removing the negativity from your body when you connect with nature. So I like to go out in nature. I usually go in the middle of the day if I have the time, but learning the scientific factors that happen when you connect with nature. I will start to go in the evening, so that way when I come back, it's easier for me to unwind and go to bed. And then the next thing to help you combat negativity is making meaning. And what I mean by this is just making meaning and putting value into the small stuff. I'm pretty sure by now everyone has heard of romanticizing your life. So this is the same thing. You're just adding value into the smaller things so that you can better appreciate it. I romanticize my life by taking the time to have a really good skincare routine. I have a good nighttime routine, morning routine. I'm adding value by having a perfume collection in my room. It can be big or small. Like, I just value these things. I value that I have a vacuum cleaner to clean my rug. I value that I have electricity, just the things like that. So that way you're not only setting gratitude for everything that you have, because that's gonna, again, raise your frequency, but you're creating value in little things, so that way you can just appreciate everything around you. And once you start that cycle of gratification, or just gratitude for everything that you have, it's going to become habitual, and you're not even gonna, that negative stuff like, oh my gosh, I don't have this and that, it's not going to affect you because you're already grateful for what you do have. But also, on a higher note, when you are grateful for what you have, it literally allows you to bring in more things that you want. So being grateful can serve you like in so many ways, and I cannot stress this enough, because I have a gratitude journal. I talk about this in pretty much all my videos, but I wake up in the morning and just write down things that I'm grateful for. And I took it a step further because I recently bought a new journal. I have gratitude prompts. So when I'm writing in bullet points the things that I'm grateful for, things that I want to happen for the day, and affirmations, I take it a step further and I write gratitude. I have gratitude prompts already written out on my journal. So when I open my journal in the morning, that's the first thing I'm focusing on, writing down, answering the prompt that I have previously written. And then affirmations is another thing. And in my gratitude journal, I also wrote down on the first page things that I value in myself, things that I like about myself and love about myself. Excuse me. Things that I love about myself. So I read that to myself every morning to serve as a reminder that I am the person that I want to be. I value myself. I love myself. So I read those affirmations out loud every morning just to serve as a reminder that I love being me. I love everything that I have, and I love my life. And the last thing I want you to remember when you're trying to combat your negativity is shades of positivity. So what this is I want you to think of a rainbow and how there's a spectrum of colors. There's going to be a spectrum of positivity. So I say this to say that I don't want you to go into this, into this change with thinking that positivity has to be an all or nothing thing. So with I don't want it to be just a black and white thinking, a black and white type of thinking. Sorry, someone's calling me, so I'm getting distracted. But so positivity is on a spectrum. So it could be the little things, it could be the small things. It doesn't have to be, if this doesn't happen, then I'm not going to be happy, I'm not going to be positive. If this happens, then it's going to set my day off. It's negative. Positivity is on a spectrum. So if something small happens and it's not exactly what you want, it can still, be a positive thing. If that makes sense. But I want you to know that positivity is on a spectrum. Just think of a rainbow when you are trying to combat your negative thoughts. So say if something didn't happen the way you wanted it to, think of that spectrum, think of that rainbow. It's not exactly what I wanted, but something did happen because of something else that I did, if that makes sense. So we are going to try to cultivate positivity now that we have established some ways to combat negative thinking, and then also how to identify our negative thinking and triggers. So neuroplasticity, that is basically saying that our brain is capable of change. This feeds into adaptation. Our brain is capable of adapting. We just have to allow it to. And I stated this before, but neural pathways strengthen like a muscle. We just have to allow them to. I forgot which, I want to say I was listening to Jay Shetty. He had a guest on there and she was explaining how neural pathways work. Sometimes we can develop neural pathways while our mother is pregnant with us. She determines how our neural pathways are developed based on her thinking, and then we, you know, inherit that. If I can find the episode that I'm referring to, I will definitely link it. But she also explained what neural pathways were and how they are important to us. But they're like a river or a creek, and when we're not using it, it will dry up and go away. So say you have negative neural pathways and positive neural pathways. If you are putting more effort and more energy and more power into the positive neural pathways, it's going to, you know, start flowing with more water. And if you are not putting much focus, energy, and power into the negative one, it's eventually going to dry up and you're no longer going to need it anymore. You're not going to use it. You're going to have that positive way of thinking because that positive neural pathway is the one that's active, the one that has water in it. Like I said, it has to do with adaptation, and you can create new neural pathways. You just have to change your mindset and just allow yourself to learn new things and implement the new things that you've learned into your life. And which is a huge reason why I do make content like this now, because I know that change is possible. You can change pretty much anything in your life because we are in control of our lives. So that's why this is really huge for me. It's really huge for me to make this type of content because I myself have made so many changes. So I just want to, you know, let other people know what I have experienced, and hopefully that will help somebody along the way. So you do have to mindfully practice positive thoughts until it becomes habitual, and even still you'll be practicing it. But because negative thoughts do come up, even though I am more positive now, negative thoughts do still come up, but I am so good with combating it now because I'm like, oh no, that negative thought has got to go. You are not welcome here. Like, think of a bouncer at your favorite club and the bouncer's like, you're not allowed in here. Like, no, you can't. That's how you have to treat those negative thoughts. Don't let them in. Like, you gotta go. And then if they're refusing to go, combat them with that positive thinking. And then for cultivating positivity, I want you to think of your most recent positive. And I want you to think about what you learned because it was positive to you for a reason. So think about it. Was there a lesson that you learned when that positive happened? A new strength discovered? Or was there an unexpected opportunity that came up? I want you to think about it because there is a reason why that was positive for you. And then once you discover that there's a reason in that positive, you can discover so many other positivities or positive situations in your life that you did not know were even possible. I know that might sound dramatic, but it's going to broaden your perspective. It's going to make you see more positives. So really just to start to determine why something is positive to you next time it comes up, or you can even reflect on your most recent positive. I'm going to just provide some examples about combating negativity or things that can be perceived as negative. So say you're at work and you received some critical feedback. A negative person or a person who has a negative mindset, they're going to be like, oh, this person hates me, just making a bunch of assumptions. They can even turn it on themselves. They can start to feel low self-esteem, or it can take a hit at their confidence. The list goes on and on because, like I said, negativity tends to spiral. So what you can do if you are in a situation at work and you are receiving critical feedback, you can take that feedback and be like, oh, this person really wants to see me do better because they are literally telling me what I did wrong and telling me how to fix it. So this feedback is really good for me because this is what I need to better myself. Another example. Hey, you're stuck in traffic and you're not going to get to your destination on time. Instead of huffing and puffing, cursing at the cars, having road rage, oh my God, what are they doing? Combat that negativity with positivity. Oh, this is the time for me to sit here and relax before I get to my destination. Oh, this is the time for me to I can listen to my favorite song for a longer period of time, or listen to my favorite playlist. I can listen to more podcasts. Oh my gosh, I have more time on my hands to do something else rather than before I get to my destination, because this is going to allow me to relax before I actually get to my destination. Or say if you have a disagreement with a friend, somebody with a negative mindset can think, oh my gosh, this is over, I can't believe this, they don't like me, they never liked me, this and that, just start spiraling with those negative thoughts. But instead of doing all of that, what you can do is turn it into a positive. Oh, this is an opportunity for me to learn from this situation, because even though we've had a disagreement, we both shared our perspectives, and now I'm able to not only see things for how I see it, but how they see it as well. So I'm learning how they see, this certain situation through their eyes. And so when you start thinking this way, or, the cycle of action of like just combating those negative thoughts, this is going to make positivity a habitual mindset. And like I said, negative things are still going to come up, but it's going to be easier and it's going to be habitual for you to be positive. So I talked about negative self-talk. Positive self-talk is another way of combating negativity, specifically negative self-talk. So practicing self-talk can actually serve as, it's literally like sculpting your brain. So you're just literally like taking out the negative parts and then just sculpting it to be something better, something more meaningful, more positive. And this is all because of neuroplasticity. Okay, so like I've said over and over again, replace the negative thought with a positive one. So say if you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that, that was so awkward. I'm glad I was able to speak my mind. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have worn that. I look so stupid. I'm glad I'm able to express myself through my clothing or the outfits I wear. I'm very fashionable. I'm unique with my fashion. Da 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 da. Combat it with positive thinking. It's not hard to come up with something positive about yourself, but a good way to start is writing those affirmations in a journal or on a piece of paper or even on your phone, so that way you can look at it every day and be like, hey, I'm this, I'm that, I love this about myself. Do it. But that is a good way to start thinking more positively about yourself, because a lot of the time people that do speak badly to themselves, they do love themselves, but they have this, you can have this negativity can affect any and everyone, is what I'm trying to say. And also if you want to just like practice your positivity, think of something recently that made you have self-doubt, and then think of what your most kindest friend or relative would say to you in response to that. And that's a good way to combat that self-doubt and that negative self-talk. And these are things that I want to say to you just in case you need to hear them. It doesn't hurt to hear these things. So if you want to write this down or take note of what I'm saying, just so you can remind yourself as well, please do so, because I think kind words can go a very long way. Your resilience shines even on the toughest days, and that's true strength. Your perseverance is admirable. You're stronger than you realize. You have the power to turn obstacles into opportunities. Your mistakes are stepping stones, not stop signs. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is the 3 good things method. This method states that contentment stems from appreciating the good things that we do have, or appreciating what we do have. And this is a good method to use, so that way you can reframe your day into a positive one. So even if you had a million and one negative things happen, you can reframe your day and basically look at the negativity or the negative moments as things that were supposed to happen, so that way you can learn from them or something like that. And this method just allows you to reframe your day so that it can, be more of a positive day rather than just mark the whole day off as a waste, as a negative. Let's do this together. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and focus on your day's events. Try to recall 3 positive events or experiences from your day. And that's all you have to do. And these positive events can be big or small, it really doesn't matter, just as long as they are positive events that happened to you today. And then I want you to determine why these felt good to you. And this will help you, like I stated before, just really be able to pinpoint positives, because positives positive and negative things happen to us. We determine if they're positive or negative based on how they serve us. So you have to determine why it was positive for you. This method or technique fosters gratitude and self-awareness, which just overall provides you with complete happiness, and that way you can just radiate positivity. It's important to have a positive outlook on life. It's so important that you have a positive outlook on life, because this life is worth living. It is worth being happy, and everyone deserves to have the life that they want. And in order to have that, you have to appreciate what you have, and once you appreciate it, you will be happy, and then you will radiate positivity. So like I said, remember, it's easy to spiral into negative thoughts, and it's easy to spiral. So once we start becoming more aware of our thoughts, we can combat them with positive thoughts. And I want you to take it a step further and practice self-awareness, so that way you are just being more aware of things that you do on a daily basis. And if it's something that you see as negative, then I want you to combat that with positive, whether it's your thoughts, your feelings, or your actions. Combat that with positive thoughts, feelings, or actions, so that way you can just radiate positivity all throughout. It's not just your thoughts, it's your words, it's your feelings, it's your actions that are positive, and you will radiate positivity, trust me. So I do want to thank you all for tuning in to today's video. I hope you have a good day. And like I said, welcome to my community. Don't forget to subscribe and turn that notification bell on, so that way you can catch my next video. And I also started a summer manifestation series on my channel, so that way I can help you all get the life that you are manifesting, that dream life that you have in your head. We can make it a reality. Tune into my series for the summer. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.